Alright then gang, so now we've briefly seen how the life cycle of a service worker takes shape. We've seen the registration, the installation and the activation as well. But we've not actually done anything with our service worker yet. It's just kind of sitting here listening to these different events, and that's not very good. But don't worry, we will come back to this later. I just wanted to show you how to get a service worker up and running to begin with, which now we have done. Now before we go any further, I want to bring you back to the overall goal that we've got here. We're trying to make a PWA, a progressive web app, right? And service workers are just one part of a PWA, albeit a very important part. But they're just one part, like a web app manifest file is another part of a progressive web app. So a PWA is made up of several different things, and we need to implement them all together to make our PWA valid. Now, Chrome DevTools gives us a way to audit our application using the Lighthouse plugin, which essentially gives us a checklist of required actions to make our site a valid PWA. So let's have a look at this in action just to audit what we've got so far. So I'm going to go over to Audits in the top tabs. Then I want you to make sure you have Progressive Web App checked. I've unchecked the rest, but you can keep those checked if you want. Then come to the bottom and click Run Audits. Now this is just going to take a few seconds, but then it will spin up a report for us with some different things in the checklist that we need to complete. So we can see right here, Progressive Web App, and it's split up into three different sections: Fast and Reliable, Installable, and PWA Optimized. Now, the ones in green over here with a tick, they are passed, and the ones in red, they are not passed. So there's a few we still need to do, but this section right here, Installable, we have fully passed that. It uses HTTPS. Well, it doesn't, but remember localhost is an exception to the rule, so it's passing here. It registers a service worker that controls the page and the start URL. Well, we've registered a service worker, this one right here. And also the web app manifest meets the installability requirements. So that's passed as well. We've created that file. Now, if we scroll down here, we can see some of these different ones are not passed. This one, for example, does not redirect HTTP to HTTPS. Now, we'll take care of this one later. This one, actually, we can do right now. It says it does not set an address bar theme color. So there's no meta tag with the name of theme color in the HTML files. Now we have a theme color property inside the manifest.json file right here, but we can also place in a meta tag right here, which sets the theme color as well. And this will actually override the other value right here. So it wants us to do this. Let's create a meta tag, and the name of this is theme color, like so. And the content is going to be equal to a hex code. I'm just going to paste that in like so. And then I'm going to copy this dude and paste it inside the About page and also inside the Contact page. Okay, so now if I come over here and clear off this one and then run the audit again, hopefully this time it should pass that individual check. And now if we scroll down here, we can see that it does get a tick now on the address bar theme color. So that has passed now, but we still have some other different things that we need to address. And we will be coming back to this throughout the course and addressing these different points and re-auditing our application to make sure they pass. Now, another checklist I want to show you is for the Add to Home Screen banner. So before I said when we were on an Android device or something like that and we go to Add to Home Screen in the browser, there was an easier way to prompt the user to add our application to the home screen, and that is the install banner. Now, the install banner in Chrome can automatically appear, and it's based on certain criteria. So it only appears if all of these criteria are met. So first of all, the web app is not already installed, but that's okay. We can delete it and it's not installed. Then it meets a user engagement heuristic. And that is currently that the user has interacted with the domain for at least 30 seconds, so that's fine. It includes a web app manifest file, which ours does, with these properties: short name, icons with these sizes at least, which ours do, a start URL, and display must be set to full screen, standalone, or minimal UI. Well, we have standalone, so that's fine. It's served over HTTPS, required for service workers. Well, we're on localhost, which is an exception to the rule, but later when we deploy the app, we will be doing it to HTTPS as well. And it has a registered service worker, which we do with a fetch event handler. Now, we don't have a fetch event handler right now. So we're going to talk about that and how we can listen to fetch events in the very next tutorial.